Keep it to yourself. Keep your religion to yourself. Keep your spirituality to yourself. Keep your belief system to yourself. If you can't take a hint, then I don't believe your shit. Your prophecies and your myths. In your own home, that's cool. Just keep it out of our schools. Don't bother me, I want you. Don't hate people for being different. If you can't follow these steps, then here's what I suggest. Keep it to yourself. You insist that we listen, but your shit ain't making sense. It's hard to pay attention. If you look at God when you're in trouble, your situation worsens. Sorry to burst your bubble, but I'm the type of guy that needs proof. If you don't value the truth, you're destined to get duped. The opposite of skeptical is gullible. Believing the impossible, your prophecy's improbable. Knowledge is truly power. I'm not accepting assertions on heaven, no praying virgins. You can save it for the clergy. Your arguments, yeah, I've heard them. Thou shalt not kill, but your boss commands murder. Yeah, and you pray to get a raise while millions of children's gone for dying from having AIDS. Your priorities are way off. You get indulgence in exchange for a payoff. If you insist on insisting your religious opinions, even though they're offensive. If you can't take a hint, then I don't believe your shit, your prophecies and your myths. In your own home, that's cool. Just keep it out of our schools. Don't bother me, I want you. Don't hate people for being different. If you can't follow these steps, then here's what I suggest. Keep it to yourself. In science, I trust. Use the brain inside your head instead of God. Keep your position to yourself. What's up, family and friends? Welcome to the Woke Nation, our nation of factual truth, where we feel free to share knowledge and spread the knowledge of factual truth without fear, without favor, and without faint, where we encourage us to live our lives and live it well through the knowledge of factual truth. Enjoy your life, please, wherever you are. Remember, those who you think you cannot live without. Any day you sleep that long sleep, they call death. They move on with their lives. Move every time I keep thinking about my father who died last year. Everything he was fighting for, everything he was doing, everything he was trying to who having issue with people and all that. Where is he now? One of the things they made us to hold is like not considering life, especially after you heard that somebody has left or have died. They just move on. All they think is about how to bury the person, what it will cost. Then after burial, if that person have properties, they share the properties. Then after that, they continue living their life. They give you the illusion of ownership, the illusion of achievement, which moves you, motivates you for chasing the wind. You want to own this, own that. You want to save up a social amount of money. What if you didn't live to enjoy them? You never consider that. They tell you, even if you don't enjoy it, go and marry, have children. Your children will inherit it. Whatever your children inherit from you does not benefit you. It only benefits them. Let me say it again. Anything you give to somebody else out of your own labor, out of your own achievement, benefits them, not you. But they have made us to be accomplishment conscious, to be ownership conscious. You see, I own this, I own this person, I own that thing. When I die, blah blah. Give me befitting burial. Befitting burial for what? The only befitting burial is when you die, they strip you of whatever clothing that's on your body, open the ground, and throw the body in there. Let us wake up and stop wasting life, wasting time, wasting resources in something that shouldn't cost us anything. Check how they do burial. Will you do the same thing? Somebody dies, they are looking for money for burial. For burial. Burying that person with anything does not do anything. It's a waste. Whatever you bury the body with is a waste to you. And sometimes I see it, maybe it's affecting our environment, but because those things are supposed to go there, like the plastic and all that, how long they will take to go away? Are they not hindering things? Think. But there's no wisdom in burying anybody with coffin, unless they started using coffin when somebody dies of contagious disease, so that it will not spread according to their belief. That doesn't mean you have to bury with coffin. Let us relieve our family members of that burden of burial. Many of you are carrying that burden of burial, but you won't express it because it's there. It's when somebody dies around you, you show it. You see the mourning, like they didn't know the person will die. Like person dying is a bad thing. Why are you mourning when somebody dies? Why are you mourning? At least we used to know that death is an illusion. We don't die. We transform. Just like whatever crop you put in there, you are food. The truth, the factual truth, they did not teach you, or they did not tell you, because they will never teach you factual truth. They will never tell you factual truth. Is that you are food. When you are eating that fish, that's where you will be eating too. When you are killing and eating all those animals, that's the way you will be killed and be eaten too. It's not bad thing. It's not. But they wrote up all this nonsense telling you thou shalt not do this, that. Natural thing they tell you don't do that. You must be killed, or you must kill and be killed. It's a must. If you refuse to kill, you must be killed. That's why you see majority of us living in bondage, because we don't want to die. You will still die. It doesn't matter. Oh, I don't want to die now. You are joking. Have you heard about heart attack? Have you heard about accident? It happens, and you may be next. You don't have to prepare to die. No, you don't have to. You don't even have to expect it. You don't have to. Why are you expecting it? Just know it will happen. Don't worry about how it will happen, when it will happen, when it will be your turn. Don't worry about that. Lay down. If it happen, okay. You walk around, anything happen. This is why we must rise up and begin to resist all this oppression and oppressors. Stop living in fear of death or fear of dying. Death is not your end. Your life is endless. Your life is ageless. Your life is indestructible. Live your life. Be yourself. Don't be this and or that they want you to be. Like, as I said in my last video, be what? Be yourself. Not everything and everyone they want you to be. No, be yourself. You don't supposed to bear another person's name. You're not supposed to exalt another person. You're not supposed to even worship another person for any reason. Oh, they help me. No. Oh, God will change you. Your in-law is your God. No, it's a lie. That's poor mentality, especially from poor people and desperate people. Change of religion is the topic of what I'm sharing with us today. Change of religion. Religion, simple, understand that religion is a belief in God or gods. Those of you that are spiritual, saying that spirituality is not religion. Those of you that are Christians, claiming that Christianity is not a religion. You are ignorant of what religion is. Religion is not whatever you want it to be. No. Religion, as they say, religion is from Latin verb, religia. It said to take back, to tie back. That's to bind you back, to enslave you back. They don't want you to be free, so they want to keep enslaving you. Anytime you want, anyway, that's what they say. Don't go beyond what is written. Do not lean on your own understanding. Don't think about yourself. Be mindful of things that you cannot see. What you can see cannot sustain you. It's what you cannot see that can sustain you. Swelling words. Religion is to hold back, to thwart from forward progress, to bind. That's what religion is. A control system based in unchallenged dogmatic belief, which hold back the progress of consciousness, a person. Example of this, you can find it in their book, Genesis chapter 11, 1 to 9. These people were progressing without God, without consulting any spirit. They consulted themselves, talking to their real self. Say, come, let us make. Come, let us build. And they made it. Boom. Religion came. God said, let us go down and see what the sons of man has achieved. Not by grace of God, not by strength of God, not by the will of God, not by anything of God. And when God came down, he said, these people are one, speaking one language. Therefore, whatever they decide to do, nothing can stop them. No one can stop them. That is the power of people. That's why any day people decide to end the government, bad government, they will end it. But today, most people are cowards, especially those who are not Muslims. When it comes to all these religious people, Muslims are more courageous than the rest when it comes to their faith. Muslims are ready. Others pretend to be ready, but they are not. They will tell you see what happened in Syria. Such thing can never happen in Nigeria. You know why? Religion in Nigeria is everywhere. Christians claiming this, Muslims claiming this, spiritual people claiming that. So there's no way they can unite to say enough is enough to this evil government. They cannot do that. If Christians say, okay, let's do it, the Muslims will be against them. Say, no, it's our brother. He believes in Allah as we believe. Leave him alone. The spiritual people want to do, okay, that those ones, they have reduced them to nothing in our land. So understand that religion is a belief in God. It has nothing to do with reality. There is no God anywhere. That's why they tell you you are missing something when you are not. They tell you you have original sin when you are not. You inherited it. No. This is what they keep telling you. There is vacuum. There is vacuum in your life that you need God to be filled, because they know there is no God. If there is vacuum in your life, right, and it's only God that can fill that vacuum, what is that God waiting for? Want you to be born again before you do that? And he gave back to, as you said, he said he created you. So why did he let that reside in you, or any vacuum in you? But the fact remains, there's no vacuum in you. Any vacuum is an illusion. It's a make-believe. You are not empty. You are not imperfect. You are not unclean. You are not what those nonsense they said you are. You are not. So it's time you learn the truth so that you will free yourself. They don't want you to be free at all, no matter how you try to argue it. They don't. They don't want you to be free. So, chains of religion. Religion is to bind, to thwart progress, to bind you back, whether you like it or not. But you are the only one through knowledge of factual truth who can set yourself free. Great day, Herbert. I want you to know that the chains of religions are psychological chains that keeps people that believe in God in bondage of ignorance. So they fight against factual truth. They fight against fast for their God. They are the one fighting for their God. They hate you for their God. They kill you for their God. because their God does not exist. Their God cannot do anything. They're the one that made up the words of God. They're the one that made up that God. They created that God. And in their imagination, that God is real to them. How dare you say that God is not real? My God, how dare you? For the facts I can dare you are God, dare you or dare you are God, prove that your God does not exist. Your God cannot judge me. Your God cannot punish me. I'm above every God. So you see, things because they are living in the bondage of ignorance, they begin to act like mad dogs, mad pigs, mad sheep, mad serpent against anyone who is speaking the truth to power, who is uncovering the lies of their religion, especially those who are ex to that faith or to that belief, like ex-Christians, ex-Muslims, ex-theists, like myself. So the first chain I must talk about, and this is holding many people in bondage, whether they accept it or not, whether they know it or not, is the chain of fear. I want to like spread your two hands and your leg like that. Is 5. Your neck, 2 hands and 2 legs. That's where the chains go. And with those chains, you remain as they want. There's no progress. You are only circling around, circling around. When you have a little relief, you say, praise God. God has done it. No, God has not done anything. So the first chain goes to the neck. So that's how they were holding the slaves from Africa. Because they know they resist chain, so they put chain on their neck. No, you cannot go anywhere. They put things to keep them from even trying to move their head anyhow. So they remain quiet to avoid the pain from the pain in those things. And you know the funny part of it, they say that fear is wisdom. They equate fear with wisdom. They tell you that the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. My people, there is no wisdom in fear. There's no wisdom in fear of God. There's no wisdom of God. That's why they think it's wisdom and demand that you question not their God, question not God's word, and question not ministers of God. When you see any born again Christian, when you see any dedicated case, somebody who are so dedicated in worship of God or worship of spirit, they don't question that God. They don't question any word they say comes from that God. And they don't question any word or anyone that preach that God. In fact, that's why you see ministers of God has been worshipped everywhere. They are becoming rich by day. Because people fear people that are supposed to say, no, this is not. You are a man of God, collects money from you every week. After he buys a private jet, he builds nice house for himself, send his children abroad, they are living well, eating delicious food every day. But you, who is contributing that, cannot even afford 1 gallon of fuel in your country. In your country. Those of us in Africa who are living in Europe, in America, in Asia, and bragging, we are stupid doing that because we are not living in our land. You living in the fear of God. The chain on your neck won't let you be yourself. Fear rob you a lot. It make you fear your own shadow too. Fear of God is evil. And many people who say they are awakened or they are woke, they still have that fear of God. They still entertain it. Maybe it may be. No. You know the challenges that comes to me every day, and I keep encouraging myself. How? I said, before you fear that God, I want you to show me what that God has done for you today. What that God, not what you did in his name. No, what that God single-handedly did for you, did for your family. A God that failed to provide for you cannot punish me because you are angry that I'm attacking that God or mocking that God. Let that God show his mercy to you first. Let that God show his power to you first. You don't need to preach the power, the mercy of your God to me. I can see it. Then I will agree with you. If I cannot see it, keep it to yourself. It is your own position. I don't need it. Don't preach it to me because you cannot prove it when I demand proof. I always demand proof. I prove all things and I follow fast wherever it leads. That's why my parents born me in an Anglican. I grew up to become Pentecostal. And after that, boom, I revert to myself, trashing every God, rejecting every Jesus, rejecting every Christ, rejecting every spirit, rejecting every soul, rejecting every lie they have taught us. The second one is chain of faith. This one goes to the right hand. Chain of faith. I like the way I put it on the right hand because that's the only way they think they can be right with God, living by faith, taking God by his word, whether it makes sense or not, whether it's working against me or not. I take God's word to say, I'm sheep. I am sheep. I am not sheep. I am a person. Look at me. I'm a living being. Not even human being, living being, natural being. I am nature. And that's what we are. You know, another form of funny part of this thing, they call faith knowledge. If you read a place like in Hebrew chapter 11, I think verse 2, he said that by faith we understand that the world we are formed by the word of God. It's a lie. And that's why without faith, you cannot believe any word from the holy book. You must have faith to believe in them. What is faith? What is faith? Oh man, what is going on with this shit? Now, it says faith is belief in God or in a set of religious doctrine. When you go, okay, let's say, let us remove it from God. Right? This one says confident or unquestioning belief in the truth, value, or trustworthiness of a person, idea, or thing. You're not supposed to have it because it's a belief. You believe that, okay, that word is the truth. It's not. If you believe it is not, you need to demonstrate it, you need to prove it. Another definition of faith, like believing in God, he said, strong or unshakable belief in something, especially without proof or evidence. Anything you believe in is what you don't have evidence for. If you have evidence for it, you will have knowledge of it. Knowledge is what helps you to have evidence. I know how it works, I make it work. If you don't have knowledge of fixing car, you cannot fix car. No matter how anointed you are, no matter how inspired you are from God, you cannot fix car if you lack knowledge of fixing car. So faith is you having strong or unshakable belief in something, especially without proof or evidence. The way many people believe in God. You know, you believe in God today because your parents and guidance who raised you, you saw that confidence they have in God. They have not seen and they did not show you. You continue where they stop also. Believing the same thing and spin out, making thinking that everybody must accept it. To religious people, it is trust in God. Faith in, see, they have faith in God. It keeps them down because God is enemy of progress. Go back again to Genesis chapter 11, 1 to 9. God is the enemy of progress. It stop your right hand from working for you. And that's why when you make, they convince you to use your hand and bring the money to them. Your money, they tell you, is God's money. It is by God that these people, I mean, by faith that these people know that their God created heaven and earth, everything. Their God created everything. By faith. None of them can prove that. None of them can demonstrate that. They will tell you their God made everything. Their God is in charge. He's all powerful. Yet when something they don't like happen, they say it's the devil or it's somebody else. They will never blame this God because they are people of faith. That chain of faith is holding them down in the bondage of God. The third one is chain of hope. That one on the left hand, they put it. With hope, they claim it helps them to endure whatever they face. So they taught them to have that hope. Hope God will come, God will do this, God will do that. So that's why you see them, they leave the solution to their problems and the punishment of their oppressors for their God. They tell you, don't worry, do not revenge. Vengeance is of the Lord. He will repay. Don't worry. If your enemies hurt you, don't hold them back. Love them. If they ask you for water, give to them. If they ask you for bread, give to them. When you do so, you are heaping coal of fire on their head. You are stupid doing so. Loving your enemies means you are stupid. Your God cannot punish your enemies. You are the only one that can punish your enemies. It is called fairness. Revenge is fairness. Forgiveness is evil, is being unfair. Asian people don't forgive. No, they are fair. No matter what you do, even when you say, oh, I didn't know that, you must face the consequence. Stop leaving the solution to your problem in the hand of any God. God will never come to save you. Jesus will never come to save you. Satan will never come to save you. Demon can never come to save you. Your ancestors can never come to save you. No spirit will come to save you. Stop living in hope. I live in hope. Okay, I prayed. Oh, I hope things will work. I've sacrificed. I hope things will work. And they even use it to rob people. They've robbed me sometimes. So you see these people having hope of salvation, hope of victory, hope of abundance, hope of breakthrough, etc., etc. How about hope of healing, hope of protection, hope of recovery? This hope of recovery is where many Africans are. They are hoping that one day God will intervene or their ancestors will intervene and they will have victory from white supremacy. No, we never have victory, freedom from white supremacy and recover our heritage until we rise up ourselves. Know that there is no God coming to fight for us or help us. It's us, we the people, that we rise up, equip ourselves, and fight for our recovery. The fourth one is chain of love. This is another area they hold many people. Remember, chain of hope is on the left hand, right? The chain of love is on the right leg. Right leg, that's where they put the chain of love, where they claim it compels them to live as their God pleases. I love the Lord. I love the Lord. He heard my God. It's a lie. You didn't hear from any God. And no God didn't hear any of your crying. No God solves your problem or answers your prayer. Stop living in love. Love is evil. Some will say it depends on what. No, love is evil. The definition of love will show you is evil. It's a lie. It's a fake feeling people have. That's why people use it to rob others. Ministers of God use love to rob their followers and their admirers. I love you guys. Why he's lying to you, preaching hell and heaven that doesn't exist, preaching God and Jesus that doesn't exist to you, and saying he loves you. That's love. Love is evil. Love is deception. Love is lie. That's love. The same people that tell you do not love the world, that the things of this world will pull you down, will stop you from loving God. Yet the same God, the same people will tell you that love of God. Love of God. You hear what he said, they say in First John chapter 5, verse 3. He said that this is the love of God, to keep his commandment. That's love. Love comes with law. You cannot live with somebody with love and it won't cost you. Nature, there's no love in nature, but care. That's why they marry it to love. They tell you love is expression of something. You know what? It's not. Love is fake feeling. It's all it is. Love is fake feeling. The same with faith. The same with hope. The same with fear. Fake feeling. You hold dear. You say, I live by it. Love. There's no love without commandment. Anyone that said they love you expects something from you, and if they don't see it, that love will phew, because it's fake. Love is why they pretend to care about you, why they sentence you to hellfire or wish you evil or ill for not believing their superstition. My people, love is evil. If you're an African, a black person, originally there was nothing like love in your own word or language. That's why in every language in Africa today, ask them what is love. They can never tell you that. Like Igbo people will tell you love is efunanya. No, it's not. It's feeling. It's feeling. The last chain that keeps people in bondage of ignorance, fear of God, hope in God, faith in God, love of God, is the chain of humility. This is the sign you must see in everybody who is a believer in God or a worshiper of God. They humble themselves. Do you know what they say? When it comes to that, they don't care about anyone else except that God they worship. So they hate and reduce themselves for their God. They starve themselves for God. They hate their neighbors for God. They hate themselves for God. In fact, John chapter, Luke chapter 14, verse 26. He said, you must love yourself and your family members to qualify to be his disciple. In the Old Testament, he said, love the Lord thy God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your being, with all your might, everything. God first. No, you're supposed to be first, not any God. Because you are not God. God is evil. You are not evil. Humility. 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 6. Born again people will like this place so much. Humble yourself, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, and he will lift you up. Will lift where? Many people have died waiting for God to lift them up. Many people have died waiting for God to open door for them, make way for them. Some have prayed and prayed very well, began a journey to cross the desert to Europe. They die along the way. You hear them claiming to be nothing without their God. Imagine. Empty me and fill me with you. Oh Lord, more of you, less of me. You are stupid. Why are you reducing yourself, hating yourself for imaginary being? God you have not seen and you cannot see. None of your deceased family members have seen God. And none of them have come back and tell you, okay, I've seen God. This is the color of God. This is the height of God. This is how God dresses. This is how God behaves. None of them has done that. Yet you continue believing the same lie, humbling yourself. That's why you see when you go anywhere, they tell you God is, you see, they either bow, they ask you to remove your shoes. That's nonsense. Stop humbling yourself. Humility is for slaves. Slaves, you are commanded to humble. They read everywhere you see they say talking about humility in their holy book is talking about slaves. They want you to serve. It takes humility for you to serve someone else. That's why they say you can only serve God or money, not even yourself. Two things they want you to serve. Choose between two of them, God or money. But today they have joined both of them together. People that claim to serve God are now demanding for money, asking money as offering, as tithe, as donations. If your God is real, you will not need money to do anything. Your God should be able to take you from Africa to any part of this world without any visa, without any passport, without any flight. That's the only way you can demonstrate your God is real, that your God exists. When what you don't like happen to unbelievers, you say, see, it's the power of, because the person refused to believe in your God. But when it happens to you or to your fellow believers in God, you say, is the persecution from the devil, is the work of the devil. No, it's not. You are suffering the same thing you are calling the hand of God in other people's life. You say your God is the one because those people did not obey your God or bow before your God or believe in your God. That's why they are suffering. But your own, you are suffering because you believe in God. Yes, don't you see how stupid you sound? This is stupid people that are living in humility. Said what they labored for. Many of them suffered or labored for many years to get that thing or those things. They end up saying it is God that give it to them. Somebody that could not make it in Africa, travel to Europe, Asia, or America, then goes back to Africa claiming that it is God who give them those things. Even the money they are achieving in America, working, some of them doing two jobs, working overtime to make that money. They believe it is God who is giving them that money, and you can't stop them from giving it to the ministers of God. That's how they show appreciation to God. They show their appreciation to God by giving it to ministers of God who are living better than them. And when I talk, you want me not to talk, to shut up? I am okay myself. I don't have any financial problem. I'm okay. Everything I need to live, I have them. But I'm just trying to open your eyes because I was once in your shoes. I was once like you, wasting my time, wasting my life, wasting my resources in the worship and service of God. I was not joking. I was not playing. I was not robbing people. I was not lying to people. I was not deceiving anyone. I was following the Bible they gave to me. My parents gave me the Bible. I was following it as it is written. I didn't want to go beyond what is written. I was living as it is written. Living in fear, living in faith, living by faith, living in hope, living by love, and also humbling myself. There is nothing you are doing today or can do tomorrow that I did not do when I was a born again Christian. Nothing. Nothing you have is a gift from God. Your children are not gifts from God. Your money is not gift from God. Whatever you achieve in this life is from your effort, not from any God. Stop giving your glory to imaginary being called God. God is a monster. God is a fairy. God is a genie. God is not real. God is not a person. You are not God. It doesn't matter how you want to define it and claim it. You cannot be God. And you don't have God. You are not a creature. You are a living being. You have parents. You cannot have God. If you don't have parents, then you can have God. But God does not exist. God cannot create anything. And God is not our world, black people, Africans. God is German world. It has nothing to do with us. Just like Jesus Christ also, they have nothing to do with us. Jesus. Wake up, my people. Let us trash all these chains. Let us stop polishing them. Oh, make it shiny. You see my chains? See my chains? They keep you in bondage. But today, through the knowledge of factual truth, you free yourself and live your life naturally. It is simple. We can live our life without God and the money. Yes, it's possible. God